you're the only one here, I'll indulge you and let you make your way here so you can get on and go back to your things.
For the record, I'm Jerry Bloom, and I live at 24 Fairfield Avenue. And I hear that the Riverview Park is going to be paved within a week. Is that correct, man?
Well, I said it's going to start within a week.
It only
took, barring any emergencies around town, then we'll stay on it and finish it. And if we have to step off, then we step off.
All right, that's cool. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so I see funding for city-owned property at 624 Long Hill Avenue. Funding, I don't know why you need funding. It's an old farmhouse and barn, and it's overgrown. And anyway, and if it's city-owned, why are there multiple no trespassing signs posted there?
Keep people like you off the property.
Okay. So we're all familiar, I'm sure, with the state of Connecticut mail-in voter registration application. I'm sure we're all familiar with these. It goes down to say, you can't do this if you're not an American citizen, U.S. citizen, right? And you can be prosecuted. If we ever manage to pass the SAVE Act, which will require proof of U.S. citizenship, this will no longer be necessary. Also, mail-in balloting with these limitations promote voter fraud. And you've seen what happened in New Jersey. Hundreds of non-citizens voting. It's become a real issue this year. FYI, Connecticut joined New York and Vermont in a lawsuit brought by the Department of Justice recently because they are providing tuition assistance to non-citizens only, which, well, I don't think that'll stand for long. Finally, we spoke early last month about teaming up with the Department of Homeland Security and having the department pay the salaries of all our police department people to save the city, over $8 million annually. That incentive alone, I would think you'd jump on, but you're not. I talked to you about that, and you said, why don't I try? And I have. I drafted a letter, which I will read into the record, to Department of Homeland Security, July 10th, 2026, regarding 287G. Sir, I am writing to the DHS on behalf of Mayor Mark Loretti of Shelton, Connecticut, who has authorized me to do so. We have been unable to contact DHS via phone. Mayor Loretti has expressed an interest in joining DHS team to protect Shelton from the unsafe policies of our sanctuary state. Please contact Mayor Loretti at his office, City Hall, phone number 203-924-1555, extension 1312. I passed this by you, and I'm told by your secretary, Joanna, that you declined to sign on board. Nearly a third of our country is now under sanctuary jurisdictions. It makes us all unsafe. Well, only in the blue states. it's, I mean, a week doesn't go by. You hear of some horrible crime. For example, last month, allegedly, an illegal alien struck, killing a Connecticut police officer on his mate on the back of his. Anyway, it's all in the news. This is something so simple we could do and save a whole lot of money for the city. Mayor Loretti, I encourage you to continue trying DHS, and I will do the same. Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to the regular scheduled agenda and come back to the public portion if anyone wants to speak. So minutes for approval. Board of Alderman regular meeting of June 11th, 2026, June 30th, 2026, and July 22nd, 2026. Vernon?
Oh, I'm sorry, move to waive the reading and move to waive the reading and approve the following minutes. Board of Alderman meeting on June 11th, 2026, Board of Alderman meeting on June 30th, 2026, and Board of Alderman meeting on July 22nd of 2026.
Second.
Motion is made and second. Any discussion?
That the meeting on June 30th, the meeting on July 22nd were both special meetings.
Anybody else? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Motion carries. Item 5.1, 5.2, 5.3, Finance Committee, Public Health and Safety Committee, Street Committee, there are no items. I have nothing to report at this time. I'll do my talking during as the individual items come up. Item number 6 is legislative hold. There are no items from the public hearing. Item number 7, financial business old. 7.1, the Eversource agreement for the gas main at Constitution Boulevard extension.
Move to rescind the funding source for the action taken at the July 22nd, 2026 Board of Alderman special meeting titled Eversource Agreement for Gas Main Constitution Boulevard Extension, with funding in the amount of $143,828 to come from the State of Connecticut grant for Constitution Boulevard Extension, not general fund surplus.
Second.
Motion is made and second. Any discussion? So we're just changing the source of funding. This has already been approved. All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Motion carries. Takes us to item number 8, financial business new. 8.1 is August statutory refunds.
Move that the report of the tax collector relative to the refund of taxes for a total amount of $2,535.64 be approved, and that the finance director be directed to make payments in accordance with the certified list received from the tax collector with funds to come from statutory refunds account.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 8.2 is Hidden Meadow Estates open space conveyance.
Move to authorize the purchase of 4.54 acres of open space as seen on attached map to be recorded in the town clerk's office entitled Record Subdivision map prepared for Hidden Meadow Estates LLC, MBL 162-1 Bearsley Road and 21 Jonathan Lane, Shelton, Connecticut, for the amount of $525,000, and further appropriate the amount of $525,000 to be payable in 3 equal payments of $175,000 on the following schedule: July 1, 2027, January 1, 2028, and July 1, 2028. Further, authorize Mark A. Loretti and Corporation Counsel to negotiate the terms of the contract and execute any and all documents to effectuate the same.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded. Discussion. I believe that the motion really should identify a source of funding, and it doesn't do that. So, it's gonna be spread over two budget years. So the first payment could be taken out of, automatic bonding. And the motion, I'll entertain amendment to the motion that reflects that.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded on the amendment. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Now we'll vote on the motion as amended. All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Motion carries. We have a map here today. Kelly, you want to just pull that map out just to refresh everyone's memory as to what we're doing with Hidden Meadows Estates? This is a 5 acre, almost 5 acre expansion of already city-owned open space up there. It does take away 2 building lots from the project. And that's how the base price of 525 was established. In addition to that, Kelly, Terry Jones has offered also yeah, John, why don't you come right up to the front table here and just show everybody where it is.
Here.
Yeah.
This is land trust property. So they're gonna give 4.5 acres here of conservation easement. Okay, so permanent conservation easement there.
So it expands that piece that he has. No, it's not on there, Kelly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Piece here.
Yeah, while it's not part of Hidden Meadow Estates, he's doing that. Yeah, it's on Pearmain Road. He's doing that in addition to.
Yeah, it's separate.
So totally consistent with what we did with the Guy Beardsley property, and now we're doing, in addition with the Pulowskis for Hidden Meadow Estates.
Is it on Permain?
It's on Pyramid. Yeah, it doesn't have it's like, it doesn't have a specific address, but it's a 20.
It's part of one big piece that they own.
26 acres
Okay.
that they own, and they're just gonna slice this, which is like adjacent, like I said, to the land trust property. So this is gonna be a permanent conservation easement there.
Thank you.
Okay. Appreciate it.
Okay, thanks, Sean. Anybody have any questions? Okay, we should be all set then. Item 8.3 is the waiver of bids for highways and bridges plow blades.
Move per recommendation of the Director of Finance to waive the bidding process for the purchase of plow blades for the Highways and Bridges Department.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded. Is there any discussion? This is done in line with the pricing is the vendor's holding his price over the last couple of years, and we're gonna use plow blades forever and a day. And we don't buy them now. We're gonna buy them in the fall. We're gonna buy them in the spring or the winter. So it's like having a vehicle. All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Motion carries. Item 8.4 is funding for city-owned property at 627 Long Hill Avenue.
Move to appropriate an amount of $50,000 for the rehabilitation of city-owned property located at 627 Long Hill Avenue, with funding to come from aldermatic bonding pursuant to section 7.16 of the city charter.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded. Discussion.
If this is, Your Honor, the barn, is that gonna be rehabbed or you're gonna tear it down? Cause it looks in horrible shape there.
Well, right now I'm focusing on the house.
Okay, good.
The house is, I think, the only salvageable entity of the two structures. And I wanted you to get a flavor for, what this property looks like and the extent of the work that we're gonna have to do. I've also had some private companies in there that have emptied the house out over the last 3 weekends. all the furniture, there was clothes in the washing machine, there was food in the refrigerator. Some of it was still frozen, but it was a real mess. There's all kinds of feces. And it's got a very pungent odor that is not conducive to human life. Let me put it that way. I think the pictures really tell the story. The house has good bones. There's an awful lot of black mold that's in it. And that's why I've kept personnel out of there. And I'm bringing in private companies just to deal with that issue. And then we'll be probably pulling a lot of the sheetrock and maybe the insulation out of the walls and taking the interior down to the studs. We'll probably then wash everything with bleach, Clorox, and then restore it. So.
The only question I have is, I mean, is 50,000 gonna be enough to restore this home?
No, no, this is just some starter money. We're not in any time frame to do this. So our forces will do most of it. Some of it will be done by outside companies. And I just haven't sorted any of that out, but I do want to get started before the winter sets in. Chris, our maintenance supervisor, was up there this week and he did get the water running in the house. So that was a plus. We have located the electrical meters. That was a challenge. Power is on in the house. And so little by little, we're going to be restoring the house. And the house really has good value, but we've got to spend some more to get to that value.
How much land was there on this house? I mean, I've driven by it.
There's just a shade under 3 acres. I've been thinking that, because it backs into city-owned open space, here we go with another city rental. And I'm not sure that we want to do that, but, this is food for thought that we may consider a subdivision of the property and do a sale of the house and just keep the property around it. So we maintain our connectivity to the open space that we have. And, we can deed restrict the property too. There are options. It's not like we need to conduct a sale to generate money. We don't, but it's an option open to us. And, some of these rentals these days get to be a real challenge. So even when they're in the affordable category. So I just put that out there for food for thought. Okay, anybody have any questions? I wanted you to see the picture so you got a taste of what it looks like. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Motion carries. Item 8.5 is the proposal for surveying services at the Moss property.
Move to appropriate an amount not to exceed $7,000 for the location and mapping of wetland flagging at Constitution Boulevard, Lot 6, Moss property, with funding to come from contingency general account.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded. Discussion. Kelly, why don't you just give them a quick explanation as to why what we're doing?
This is part of the application to Army Corps for the jurisdictional determination as to which of the wetlands, if any, that they have jurisdiction over. They were waters of the United States. So we filed our application through our soil scientist to Army Corps, and this was one of the items that they requested, that the wetlands are mapped prior.
And this is required for us to do under our contract with Bigelow T, because this is the property that Bigelow will purchase and build on, and this was part of the original agreement.
So I know the scope has expanded. Is this it? Is it going to continue to expand?
Well, what do you mean expanded?
Well, I'm looking at the money, the dollars.
Well, scope hasn't expanded. This is part of our requirement that we would assist Bigelow in the wetlands mitigation. And so the first step of the wetlands mitigation is to get a determination from Army Corps who has jurisdiction over the wetlands. Is it them, is it the state, or is it local? So this is, these things do come up from time to time that aren't anticipated, but, it is part of our contract with Bigelow. Okay? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Motion carries. Item 8.6 is the reallocation of grant funds and additional appropriation for the multi-purpose turf field at Shelton High School.
Move to reallocate a total of $420,000 in grant funds toward the construction new multipurpose turf sports field on the existing lower grass field at Shelton High School. The funds will be reallocated are as follows. $120,000 from Canal Lock Park Restoration and Preservation Steep Grant and $300,000 from Public Facility and Recreational Enhancement Steep Grant. Further appropriate an additional $462,950 toward the construction of the multipurpose turf sports field, including the city's required share of each grant. $30,000 for the Canal Lock Park Restoration and Preservation Steep Grant, and $60,000 for the Public Facility and Recreational Enhancement Steep Grant, with funding to come from aldermanic bonding pursuant to Section 7.16 of the city charter.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded. Okay, so before we get into discussion, let me just explain what we're trying to accomplish, but I think the motion itself is pretty self-explanatory in that we have gotten grants for the canal lock preservation and for the public facilities and recreational enhancements. They are not being abandoned. They're not going to be done this year. We started working on the field, as you know, so in order to keep working on the field and get the field completed by October, we're just shifting the monies that we got from these grants to the field, and for funding for the other projects that are mentioned here there'll be a reappropriation coming up in the sometime in January. As an example, the canal lock restoration, we're not moving forward because we have got to decide if we're going to own that lock while we're investing public money into it. To me, it doesn't make any sense for us to invest our money, the state's money or the federal government's money, and then have someone else own it and control it. We're restoring this lock so that we can preserve the history there for generations to come. And we've got to be able to control the use of that and the ability for the public to access that. So, that's my thinking, and that's why we haven't moved forward on the grants that we've received yet. So we are having discussions with the lock owner, which is the same people that own the hydroelectric plant at the dam. And quite honestly, the other public improvements are just the state was just freeing up things for us. So we still have to go out to bid. That'll take a couple of months. So nothing's going to get built this year. That, however, does not stop us from bidding these other projects. They're just on hold. The funding is just on hold. So between now and springtime, we should be ready to pull the trigger on these other projects. At least a couple of them. So I hope that it seems like that there's a lot of moving parts here, and there are, but there's a rationale behind all of this. Anybody have any questions? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Item 8.7 is the adoption of the Newtown Savings Bank resolution. We're not gonna read the entire resolution.
I didn't think so.
We have to make reference of it though.
Right. Right here. Move to adopt the following resolution. You want me to just read the first section of it?
Read the first, three sections.
Sure. Be it resolved that the borrower be and is hereby is authorized to borrow the sum of $5,657,909 and $909. The loan from Newtown Savings Bank, the bank, pursuant to the financing commitment letter dated July 23rd, 2026, as may be amended, and to grant such collateral securing the loan as may be required by the bank. And it is further resolved that the borrower be and it hereby is authorized to execute and deliver all such instruments, documents, or agreements as bank shall reasonably require in order to enable bank to make said loan to the borrower, and it is the bank that the bank be and hereby is designated a depository of the funds of this borrower, and
Okay, then there are other lengthy provisions in here, but to sum it up, this is the aldermanic bonding payment schedule for 2 fiscal years. That's why it's over 5 million. Grace, what is it for each year? What is it, like 2.8 million? The motion should also reflect the body of the context of the motion that was presented to the board in its resolution that was just read.
Okay, so moved.
Did you what?
did I say so
Well,
moved?
he didn't
I
say
don't-
so.
Oh, sorry, throw it away.
For each fiscal year. Yeah. All right, so there's a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, discussion.
I just wanted to bring up and point out, I itemized all the Board of Education total for those 2 fiscal years. And it was 14.21%, totaling $800,748. I just wanted it on the record that we have expenses for
Good
those.
observation.
Yeah, all the capital projects.
Capital projects for the Board of Ed. I just wanted it on the record.
Okay, anybody else have any other questions? The interest rates are not as favorable as we've enjoyed in the last several years, but nonetheless, it's still a very competitive interest rate based on what the market is doing now. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, this takes us to item 8.8 is For Research Property LLC versus the City of Shelton.
Move to approve settlement proposal regarding For Research as per the recommendation of the tax assessor.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded. Discussion. Fran, you want to tell us what the settlement numbers look like?
We have the stipulated judgment that the tax assessor and myself have approved subject to your approval. Property in issue is For Research Drive. They have a field card here if you want to see it. I'm passing around. The reason this settlement is occurring is because the property that was assessed is vacant. So there is no revenue being generated. The tax assessor has come to an agreement with the applicant that should the applicant get to the point that it's at least 80% full, this agreement terminates and the value of the building will be determined by the assessor. Right now, it's literally a shell. The effect of the settlement, if you approve it, is to change the annual taxes on this building
Thank you.
$145,789.98 to $97,713, which is an annual reduction of $48,076.
Okay, are there any questions? Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 9, legislative new. There are no items from public hearing. Item 9.2 is the appointment to the Board of Ethics.
Move to appoint the following resident to the Board of Ethics effective immediately. Eric Vogel, Republican.
Is there an address?
You want me to read the whole thing?
No, just tell me what the address is.
It's 42 Blueberry Lane, Shelton, Connecticut.
Okay,
Second.
all right, there's another part to the motion.
Right, but I was gonna do the one first, then I was gonna do the following. We
No,
can do the whole thing at once.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Further, move to reappoint the following members to the Board of Ethics effective immediately. Mary Ann Farr, Democrat, 17 Sylvan Avenue, Shelton. William McCart, unaffiliated, 18 Woods End Avenue, Shelton. James Woods, unaffiliated, 23 Copper Penny Lane, Shelton.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded. Any discussion?
I just wanted to point out, Eric, he probably moved in almost, a year and a half. And immediately he got involved. And that's kind of what we are looking to do, people getting involved, in the city. So thank you, Eric, and he's actually gonna be great in that position.
I'd like to also welcome him on board, and Eric is right here in the audience if you want to say anything.
They didn't vote yet. You see, that's why you can't ask them to speak, say anything.
Anticipation.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed?
Oh, we do.
Motion carries. Okay, at this time, there is no items to go into executive session. Public portion is here. Anybody want to address the board may do so. Please state your name and address for the record.
Tom Harbinson, Shelton, Connecticut. Greetings, Alderman. We've all certainly traveled on the Wilbur Cross Parkway at its intersection with Route 34 in Orange. In the center of the arch of the bridge, as you drive in either the north or south directions, is a coat of arms shield engraved into the concrete. It is the shield of Yale University, with the parkway named for Wilbur Lucius Cross, the first dean of Yale Graduate School, and later the 71st governor of Connecticut from 1931 to 1939. The shield illustrates the official motto of Yale University, Lux et Veritas, Latin for light and truth, first appearing on Yale diplomas in 1736, 290 years ago. I reflect upon these concepts when watching a video of a commencement speech by the actor Tom Hanks at Harvard University, expounding on their official motto, which dates back even longer, 383 years ago in 1643, simply Veritas, for truth. I was struck by hearing a reading of the Declaration of Independence during a 250th anniversary celebration with a line that we know best. We hold these truths to be self-evident. The world today lives in a quagmired society of truthiness or alternative truths. I believe that you, as aldermen, could benefit Shelton by knowing more truth. So I encourage you to both question what is told or handed to you and seek out more to be told to you in your decision-making. In essence, look for the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth as you serve the public. With my civic involvement starting in August of 1998, I have been allowed 28 years of continuous service on the Conservation Commission and was appointed to a committee in creation of the Plan of Conservation and Development. I remind everyone, the Plan of Conservation Development is a plan, a master plan. It is not a guide to impulsively veer off course from. It was said that a failure to plan is a plan to fail. The Plan of Conservation and Development is not a glorified suggestion box, and thus why it is required by the state of Connecticut to be updated regularly. I say that with the Moss property and Constitution Boulevard on my mind. I learned a lot from serving on the Conservation Commission alongside Harriet Wilbur, Frank Osak, Soren Ibsen, Hank Laureate, Jim Goodman, Bob Wilkins. All are now deceased. As the mayor said recently on a bus ride with the Shelton Economic Development Corporation, there are a lot of people I have worked with over these many years who are no longer around. I additionally learned much from Terry Jones, who preceded me as chairman, along with the current and prior commissioners who helped identify projects and then obtained millions of dollars in grants to accomplish them. From land acquisition, trails enhancement, bridge constructions, and farmland preservations, they all took a lot of work, benefited Shelton immensely. I am proud of those accomplishments. I also had a great environmental education from my father, who at one time was a farmer, served on the Conservation Commission in the 1970s, and who was a founding member of the Shelton Land Conservation Trust, Inc. It speaks volumes, though, that the appointments on the commission were all stale and not renewed for years, despite my pleas, mine of which expired 8 years ago. It has taken a period of self-reflection to understand that despite speaking at full volume to both the mayor and this Board of Aldermen, what was returned was silence and defiance to follow the charter, as my appointment was not renewed while others were, along with the 2 vacancies finally filled after several years of urging to do so. Despite Alderman English's public apology to me a couple of months ago for the lack of action by the aldermen after I emailed each one of you regarding this issue, I was informed that this past month's non-action for my appointment was intentional. That disappoints me because so much success from the past came from communication, working, and partnership. And it also saddens me because there remains so much work to be done on behalf of and to the betterment of Shelton. I have lived on the same street in Shelton for over 60 years. Thank you for providing me the direct opportunity for nearly half my time of living there to make Shelton a better and balanced place for economic development to work in harmony with the environment. Sadly, I can no longer do that with the current administration. I resigned from the Conservation Commission effective last week, and additionally, I have resigned as director from the Shelton Economic Development Corporation, where I have also served for over a quarter century. Thank you for your attention and reflection upon my comments.
Okay, anybody else wishing to address the board? Hearing none, seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.